The Podbreed Network is strictly for the small podcasts that are up and coming in the vast world of podcasting. Podbreed is made up of many diverse podcasts coming together to achieve the same goal of being the best damn podcast network on the planet. Find out more at podbreed.com.
This is Mike Tyson. You listen to the XY show, and I think you'll enjoy it. It's going to be ecstatic.
The opinions expressed on the X and Y show are the sole opinions of the host. Please note, there is no intentional desire to offend any member of the listening audience. With that said, if you still feel offended, tough shit.
It's time for the X and Y show. With your host, Mr. Roosevelt. He talks about man topics, lady topics, and relationships. He talks about love, sex, and infidelities. He even gives good tips. There is no other show that compares to the X and Y show.
Oh yeah, sit back, take your clothes off, and relax. It's time for the X and Y show, where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. The only place on the planet that tackles the topics that everyone wants to talk about, but no one is brave enough to address. Nothing escapes X and Y, baby. Now, here's your host, Roosevelt Colbert.
And greetings. Welcome to another segment of the XY Show. I'm your host, Roosevelt, and we are almost out of May. It's about a week away from Memorial Day, and I'm not doing shit. I'm not doing anything this Memorial Day. I'm gonna leave work Friday, and I'll probably go out after work for a couple of drinks, and then I'm gonna come home Friday. I'm gonna park, and I'm not leaving that motherfucker until Tuesday morning. Well, actually, I'm gonna go get a haircut Saturday, which I'm regretting that I signed up for that shit. But it's been, if I go another week, it'll be 3 weeks, so I can't do that. But, you know, I'm going to go get a haircut. I'm going to come home, take a shower, wash my hair, and I'm going to get right back in the fucking bed. I'm not doing shit. It's going to be a holiday. I'm not doing shit but watching TV, sleeping. I'm not doing a damn thing. So, you know, I'm not going home. I went home for the past 2 weeks in a row. So I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing shit. Sometimes you got to sit your ass down, you know. You don't have to do nothing all the time. You know, I'm in one relationship. I was this girl. She wanted to do something every fucking day we were off. It's like, just sit down. You know, sit your ass down. You know, be quiet. Let me put this dick in you. You know, be still. You know. We don't have to go out dancing every damn night. You know, we don't have to go to the damn mountains every damn day. Just sometimes you got to sit your ass down. So, you know, that relationship didn't last long. You know, every time I'm fucking off, hey, what are we doing? What are we doing? I don't know what you doing. Anyway, letters. First letter from Stan. Stan says, my wife bought an $80,000 Suburban. I was looking at one of those today, actually. But GMC done lost their damn mind. I ain't paying no. Anyway, she was always careless with money before we were married. I thought she would change, but she got worse because she knew that I'll be her safety net. She got laid off a couple of months ago. Now I have to make the payments on the Suburban, and it's really hurting. Advice. Well, Stan, I talked about this a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago. It was a while back when I was talking about finances, and it's very important that you determine, this is some of the things that you should be looking at when you're courting. That's for the old folks or the new folks when you're dating. When you're taking a woman or a man through the hazing period to realize and to see if they are the one. So, I think if I remember correctly, I talked in that episode, you have to really be with someone who's financially responsible. And if they're not financially responsible, chances are, if they weren't that way before you were married, they're not going to be that way when you're married. I don't know why motherfuckers think because you say I do, that everything just changes. Like the person goes through a metamorphosis or some shit, it's the same motherfucker before you said I do, or before you jump the rope or whatever you do. They're not going to change. And if anything, they're going to get worse. So, Stan, this is your fault. You say your wife was careless before you guys got married. So you saw before you got married that she'll fuck up some money, and you still married her. So you fucked up. And another mistake is a lot of people say, well, she has her money, I have her money. That's bullshit. And when you start off that way, you're already starting off on the wrong foot. When you get married, it's not her money, it's not his money, it's our money. So many couples fuck up that way from the get-go. Well, he got his money, I got my money. Or she got her money, I got mine. No, motherfucker, it's our money. And as you're finding out, Stan, your wife got laid off, so you got to make the payment. So even though you didn't buy the Suburban, you still have to make the payments. So it's our money. This is why it's important when you have to marry someone who's financially responsible. If they're not financially responsible before you get married, they're not going to change. So, Stan, I feel for you, but I'm going to give you some advice. I think the other day, I think it was Walgreens or CVS, they had buy one, get one free, Vaseline. Go get some. And get ready to bend your ass over for the payments. Because Chevrolet getting ready to go up in ya. Ain't nothing you gonna do about it. Just bend over, don't scream, be still, and let Chevrolet have their way for about 5-6 years, whatever, your wife signed up for. It'll be over before you know it, Because your ass about to get fucked. Nothing you can do about it. You can't let the Suburban go back. Then your wife will be fucking mad at you. Then, y'all probably get a divorce. And who knows? She be around sulking. You let my car go back. How could you? So you got to pay for it. So you just got to bend your ass over for about 5-6 years. It'll be over before you know it. Don't resist. Just bend over. Chevrolet really gonna. You motherfuckers gonna learn to listen to me. Listen. I'm not telling you wrong. If you with a woman or a man that is not financially responsible, do not fuck with them. You'll pay for it in the long run, as you're finding out, Stan, firsthand. So, buy one, get one free, man. Next letter. From Andrea. Andrea says, what do you think about silicone injections? I did an episode about this a while back, probably my first year. I was talking about plastic surgery and all that shit. And I think that shit is ridiculous. I think it should be illegal. A lot of women not going to like that comment because, men always trying to tell us what we can do with our bodies. Men always trying to tell us to do. I'm not trying to tell women what to do with their bodies. I'm not. However, I think that silicone injections and all that bullshit that, and not just women do it, men do that shit too. So, I think all plastic surgery should be outlawed. Shit. Just age gracefully. I mean, there's many stars, and I'm not going to name some of them because I might meet some of them one day and I say, hey, you want to do an interview? No, motherfucker. Roosevelt, you talked about me. So I'm not going to mention them by name. But there's many stars that, before they start getting all that plastic surgery and injections in their fucking lips and on their eyebrows and shit, getting all that shit stuck in their face, they were beautiful. And now they done got all that shit, and they keep getting it. It's like they go every week and get that shit pumped in their face and lips and eyeballs and shit. And when they get old, they look fucked up. They look really fucked up. So that I tell you, I give you one, and I'm going to give you one because she's deceased. Joan Rivers. That was a beautiful woman before she started getting all that shit put in her face. And I just don't agree with it. So I think silicone injection should be outlawed. I don't think that's something that men should get or women. Now, your freedom, you do with your body what you want to do. But I just think that people should just age gracefully and, be content with the way you look. You can't stay young forever. So I think that, and I've seen more and more people when they get that shit put in them, when they really get older, they look fucked up, So to answer your question, Andrew, I think that shit is bullshit, and I hope you're not thinking about getting it. Because I think that when you really get older, you're going to look fucked up. So that's my opinion on silicone injections and plastic surgery and all that bullshit. Age gracefully. Anyway. All right. Let's get started on today's episode. Why don't we go to family funerals anymore? Why don't we go to family funerals anymore? Well, it's funny that, and I got this idea from one of my cousins had posted on Facebook. And she was right. She was right. Because, the last time I've gone, and including myself, I'm guilty of this myself. The last funeral that I went to was a first cousin, but before that, I can't even remember. Damn, shit. Wait a minute. Okay, it was an uncle. Yeah, but and it's not that I don't want to go. It's not that I don't want to pay my respects. Most of it, I'm just lazy, But there are some times where, you let life's strange episodes with people interfere with the way you respect your loved ones who has passed on. For example, on my dad's side, my cousins and aunts and uncles and that, in my opinion, I wasn't as close with them, or really all my siblings weren't as close to them as we were with my family on my mother's side. And I'm not going to get into it, and as to the reasons, because it's none of y'all fucking business. But anyway, we just weren't as close. So I had aunts who had passed away, And I didn't go to their funerals, you know. And I guess, you know, a little bit from that is, you know, just giving you a little backstory. You know, when my dad passed, I feel that his side of the family didn't respect him. So I was like, fuck them, you know. That's the way I felt, but I shouldn't have gone that way. You know, I look back at it now, and I was like, you know, why did I do that? You know, I should have gone to my Aunt T's funeral, you know, just to pay your respects, if anything, you know, and for the most part, if you're having like disagreements with your family, and most of the time you don't even remember what the shit was about, you know. So, you know, there's many reasons why we don't go to family funerals. You know, we fell out with family. We don't get along with family. We're just lazy. You know, there's a myriad of reasons why we don't go to family funerals. And I think that we have to stop doing that. No matter how you feel about family, I think you should always pay your respects, because you never know, just by seeing someone or someone seeing you, you could make their day. You could bring them from a dark side. I mean, it's really, unless you experience this power, it's something that is truly amazing. I remember one time when my dad passed, there was a next door neighbor. Their family pretty much grew up the whole time we were there too. And I'll go ahead and say her name. I don't think her name is Norma Jean. And you know, when, you know, I mean, I think about the time when they was putting my dad in the ground, and I was about to lose it. You know, I was about to lose it. I was about to really lose it. And she came up to me and she hugged me. And that brought me back. You know, it's like, you know, and she told my brother and sister, y'all take care of him. And when she hugged me, that brought me back, because I was getting ready to go into a really dark place. And she brought me back. So, and I don't know if she knew she did that, but she did. So my point is, you don't know how you can make, I mean, you could fix so much shit if you just show up to a funeral, and, you know, your family that you've been having a disagreement with for years, and you show up to the funeral and show your respects, that could fix all of that shit in just a couple of hours. You know, that could mend deep wounds with family. And it's just the right thing to do. I mean, what did that person do so bad that you know, that's your mother's brother, or your mother's sister, or your father's brother, your father's sister, or your first cousin, your second cousin, whatever the case may be. That's family. So you should be there to support family, whether they're your other cousins or your other uncles and aunts. You know, you should be there to support one another, because in that time of need, they need you. They need you. It's very important. And a lot of things, I think, or a lot of times I think that we just forget that. Oh, they don't need me there. They don't need me. They don't want to see me. I'm not going there. I didn't like the motherfucker anyway. You know. And then some of you motherfuckers even send roses and all these big ass bouquets and shit. Don't mean nothing. But you won't go to the funeral and pay your respects to the family. So, and including myself, I'm guilty of this as well. I missed a lot of funerals over the last couple of years. Now, sometimes I was in Alaska and I was just too far away, but other times I was right there in the city, right there, and I didn't go. So we have to do better, people. I think that roots back to how strong a family is. The family in today's society is so weak. You know, we don't respect one another when we're living. We don't respect one another when we're dead and passed on. The family is so weak, and we have to get back to a point in society where we have stronger families. That's why society is so fucked up. Everybody hating each other. Everybody killing each other over bullshit. Everybody having wars with family members, and I hate that motherfucker. Your first cousin, your second cousin, and your uncle, your aunts. The family. We have to get back to that. We have to get back to that, because I think that is the only true way that society can be healed. It starts at home with the family. And we have to support one another. When one of our family members go to the next plane, just be there. Just show your face. I'm here for your cuz. I'm here for your auntie. I'm here for your uncle. It means a lot. Trust me. There are people that came to my dad's funeral that I did not expect. I mean, my sister's ex-husband came to his funeral. I was like, damn. And that made me feel better. He respected my dad so much that he came to the funeral. And he was living in Atlanta. He actually flew in for the funeral. So it matters, people. Trust me. How you can make someone feel by just showing your respect and going to their funeral or their loved one's funeral. Now, don't get me wrong. I know this is not a sugar-coated world. There's some times where that's just not a thing that you can do. When going to a funeral, it won't mend those wounds. Those wounds are too deep. The cuts are too deep. I realize that that's the case with some of you people. I do. But I think that with a lot of you people, it's not that bad. I think that it's still time to pay your respects to your loved ones. When your uncle died, go to the funeral. When your aunt dies, go to the funeral. I missed two of my aunts' funerals, my dad's sisters, because of bullshit that was going on between the way I felt, the way they acted when my dad passed. And don't get me wrong, they acted in a fucked up way. And I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get too specific. But yeah, they acted in a fucked up way. But sometimes you have to overlook things. Sometimes you have to forgive. And that's something that I'm working on more and more every day. Learning how to forgive. And that's what we all have to do. We have to learn how to forgive. I'm not saying forget, but we have to learn how to forgive. And if you're a true Christian or you religious person, in every denomination of religious beliefs, there's something about forgiveness. So we have to learn how to forgive. We have to be stronger with one another and be a stronger family. So all I'm saying is the next time, and hopefully it'll be a long time, but the next time a family member passes on to the next place, don't just send flowers. Go to the funeral. Pay your respects. Whether it's an aunt, uncle, cousin, first cousin, second cousin, third cousin, pay your respects. Go and support your loved ones. Because just a lot of times you just don't realize just by seeing you helps out a lot. Trust me. Let's get back. Let's make families strong again. Hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. Be sure to check out my website and catch up on past episodes. And also, you can follow me on my social media. I'm on Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My website is www.thexyshow.com. There's also a store where you can buy a shirt on there, and you can take a picture, send it to me, and show everyone that you are a true X and Wire. Be sure to check me out next week as well. I'm releasing the weekly shows. And be sure to always write in for any questions or concerns that you may have that you want me to answer. So, without further ado, I will see you next week, or actually later on this week. And I want you always to remember that you cannot have lust without X and Y. Later.
You've been listening to The X and Y Show with your host, Roosevelt Colbert, the place where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. Join us next time. You can now put your clothes back on. Or not.